Hey, good afternoon. This is Chuck from Monocoque Metalworks. It's kind of a dreary Monday afternoon. We are getting ready today to do a whole day of priming tomorrow. And I wanted to show you something really cool on these doors before we went ahead and primed over them. These are the original doors. There's one here and there's one there. These are the original doors from a very early 61 coupe. It's actually a double digits flat floor car. And the car was pretty original. It was a little bashed up in the bonnet and all. We've taken care of all of that. And then the shell is actually done. I'm looking at it right now. Tomorrow we are going to be priming the doors, the rear hatch, and all the bonnet components. And then we'll be putting them together. But anyway, if you're an E-Type nerd like us, you really love when you take these cars apart and you see all the cool chalk marks and all the different things that happen at the factory, and you can kind of imagine things happening at the factory. If you take a look, the customer had asked for these doors we kept the original door skin on them, and it was kind of 50-50 whether or not we would do that, but he said go ahead and try to salvage the original door skins. So these are the original skins. We did, since they're 61 coupe, the top piece is a separate piece that's spot welded on. This was all leaded in. Now an early Roadster's just like this, but your chrome piece on a Roadster covers up this seam. On a coupe, they lead all of this. They lead in the spot welds and they lead this seam. Now what was happening with these doors, since they were all original, rust, like it always does, was building up in this seam and it was bulging the spot welds and pushing out through the lead. So we had to get that all taken care of. We made new top pieces, took the old ones off, sandblasted that rust off the original skin, which is this piece here. And actually, if you want to take a quick look, there's what it looks like. See, this is the original skin, and then this is our new top piece. So we've gotten all the rust out of there. You're not going to get any more bulging. We've put some zinc weld-through primer in there. But here's what I want to show you. Look at this line. Because, and I don't know what the best way is that good? That's cool. Because this is the original skin, and I didn't want it damaged in any way, we sandblasted the whole inside and all around the edges and everything, but we hand stripped the skin with chemicals. And you can still see the red primer, but see this line here? This is black primer. This is the first primer to go on the car. And these cars were originally, as soon as the metalworking was done, they went through like a phosphate wash, and then they were dipped in a tank of this very thin black primer. And with the sedans, it looks like they dipped the front and the back to kind of get everything. They were trying to get inside the box sections. Didn't really work that great, and that's why they rust. But so this was on the car and went through that primer bath just kind of on an angle like this. And then an E-Type has all these big 7/8 holes in the body shell that you can never figure out what they're for. At least I didn't years ago. I now know it's for this dip, for all of the primer that went in the car at that point to drain out through those holes. And you'll notice they're all located right up against like the rear bulkhead and the sills so that it can all run out if the car goes through at this angle. So only because we hand stripped this with chemicals, you can see this line, and you can just imagine the car going through that first dip in bare metal and getting some black primer down in the bottom. But you don't have to imagine it, because there is an incredible video out on the internet. It's on YouTube and it's been on Facebook before. It's a half-hour tour of the Jaguar factory in 1961. Now, a lot of it is centered around sedans. They're not trying to show you like this car or that car. They're showing engines being built and all of that. At 17 minutes and 30 seconds, you will see this process of Mark II shells getting the phosphate wash. They go through this black primer dip. And then if you've done a lot of E-Types, or even if you've done one, you'll notice that the primer layers on an E-Type go red, white, gray. And they explain this all in the video, and they even show it. It goes through this black. That's actually kind of like the pre-primer. and it's just on the bottom. Then they spray it with red. Then they spray it with white. Then they spray a gray sealer coat on and bake that. And the reason they did that was they didn't want to sand. See, nowadays everybody sprays this high build primer, then block sands it, and you get that real smooth finish. But if you just keep piling up layers of primer, they'll just keep running into each other and smoothing things out. That's how they did it. So, as of tomorrow, you won't be able to see this line anymore. And we've seen this many times in the past. Sometimes you see it right on the inside of the sills as you're taking things apart. But that's just kind of a neat little thing to know. Find the video. I'll try to put a link to it on this. You got to sit down and watch this video. It is incredible. It shows them building the engines. I mean, they're drilling down the head stud holes in the block all at one time. And if you look at it, they're building 2.4 liter Mark 1s, I think. But every once in a while, you get a little glimpse of some E-Type stuff. In this body painting section, you just see the tail of an E-Type going through. And you know it's an early one because it's a 61 video. And then in the engine section, you see some E-Type engines getting built up with triple carbs too. That's it. I hope you enjoyed that little fun fact. If you need panels, call us, and have a great holiday season.